And let's see earnings report. With booking.
Gross bookings coming in at $51 billion, also better than the expectation.
Everything is up. And let's see.
$8 billion. As far as looking at this current quarter, which will be their third
memory
quarter,
chips.
Expecting their revenue to be up 4 to 6%. As we're looking across here, let me see if I can get you these specific numbers as they're coming across. So they're just giving the percentages for now.
SanDisk is up almost 1,500.
Up 3 to 5%.
And let's see booking.
And their gross bookings at a constant FX between 4 and 6% higher here. Now they saw their gross bookings up 9% year over year in this quarter they just reported here, and their room nights up 5%.
Up
so if we look
207.
at those numbers, it could potentially be a deceleration. But we are seeing still a nice move to the upside here. Up more than 4.5% as I'm looking at their chart. So Alex, what are you seeing here that stands out to you?
Don't forget subscribe, give like. Chat is open.
A nice feed for second quarter. Look, what are the fears for this particular?
Let's see memory chips. And today especially Soho is up.
Last quarter, their guidance made an assumption
Cool.
that the conflict in the Middle East was
Almost
going to be wrapped
20%.
up by kind of the middle parts of this year. That is clearly not
Let's
the
see
case.
support
And so
line.
there was a kind of an uneasiness that maybe the update to the guidance would be a negative one. Doesn't seem to be the case.
Support line.
Combine that with
Can
a
it go
pretty
up?
nice second
Sure.
quarter, recipe for
Easily.
upside, and that's what you're getting today.
All right, and SpaceX, I promised we'd be watching. We are watching. They are just coming out. So let's just dive right into SpaceX here, this highly anticipated report.
Resistance line.
As we take a look here, they are reporting a second quarter EPS of a loss
SpaceX.
of 9 cents. We're looking for a loss of 26 cents, so that's actually better than what was expected here. Their revenue coming in at $7.8 billion. That's about $1 billion better than the expectation. Their AI segment posted an operating loss of $1.26 billion. The street was looking for a loss of $2.39 billion, so $1 billion better than the expectation here. They're also saying they ended the second quarter with $47.5 billion in their backlog. So much better than expected results here. They also say they ended the second quarter with about $100 billion in cash equivalents, and securities here.
Let's see.
As we look over their CapEx coming in at $18.37 billion, their adjusted EBITDA coming in at $3.5 billion. The estimate was looking for $2 billion here. So the numbers right now, they're also saying Starlink, an important part here, that they're still coming across. I'm getting these sheets right as they come. Starlink reached 12 million subscribers by the end of the second quarter. Now, we are seeing a move to the downside here. They've got an operating loss of 143 million. They have reported 78 total space launches year to date as of June 30, but they did exceed those revenue estimates in their first earnings since their IPO.
CSP, subscribe, give like.
Don't forget. The expected number for Starlink subscribers was, it is a slight miss, very slight. Subscribers coming in at 12 million. The street was looking for 12.19 million, so not hugely significant. They're also saying that they expect their Cursor deal to close in the third quarter here. So they've narrowed their loss in the second quarter. Their revenue is rising. They have 10,200 satellites in orbit. Alex, we're now choosing a positive direction here. We've gone from about 2% down. We're now about a 0.2% higher here. What are your takeaways from what we've got so far here? I know we've already discussed at length that Elon Musk's commentary is really going to matter here.
Yeah, I think trying to gauge what the street will do with the numbers is going to be difficult because this is a tough company that doesn't have a lot of, it doesn't have any peers that you can truly compare it to. So valuing it, it's going to be, what is the term that Chairman Warsh uses, sort of good old-fashioned family fight. I mean, that's what the market does with the price of these type of stocks and tries to find out what they're valued. What I can say is impressive. I mean, the revenue is a massive beat. The AI segment, yeah, it's a loss of $1.26 billion, but it was expected to be a loss of $2.4 billion. They have $100 billion in cash equivalents and securities on the books. CapEx was slightly lower than expected. It's a big number. Look, $18.4 billion is not a small number. If that's the consistent run rate of this company, it's going to be an uphill climb for Elon Musk and team. But it's scaling at an impressive rate. You talked about the number of people, 12 million on that Starlink. And so
perfect.
You look at many of these metrics, I would say that they are ahead of where the street thought they would be.
Let's see Apple.
And so closer to that zero line on EPS. 9 cents is a lot closer than 26, 29, depending on the estimates that you're looking at. Nearly $8 billion in revenue. a lot to be impressed by here.
Apple
Now,
309.
the if
We'll
and
see.
big
Can it go
question
up?
is,
Yes. Easily.
what are the
Subscribe,
plans?
give like.
Where is it going?
What stock did you buy?
How does Elon kind of steer the ship here?
How much money
No
did
pun
you make?
intended, and kind of give the story. He's been a magnificent steward of that for these companies,
see,
notably
Google.
Tesla, throughout the years. So one has to think
Wow,
that he will
finally
have an
Google is up.
optimistic take.
400.
But until we get the questions answered, until we get the commentary, I would imagine that we're not going to ultimately find out what the street's going to do with these numbers just yet.
And another thing you meant there when you said the questions, another question I think is a question that came up on Tesla's call is tied to this potential tie-up between SpaceX and Tesla. The Wall Street Journal put out a report within the last week saying that Tesla's reportedly thinking about weighing a separation of its China business via spin-off or sale or closure to pave the way for that potential merger. Now, we know on the Tesla call that Elon Musk said it wouldn't be appropriate for me to talk about that on this channel. We'd have to do that through appropriate channels, but he was a little cheeky about it. Do you expect there to be any more commentary surrounding that today, or will it be much of the same?
Well, I think that because he's both the leader of both these companies, they do have,
I see your
of
questions,
course,
Walmart.
SEC regulations. He's limited in how he can really broach this conversation.
A small
But
correction.
I think it's clear that's the goal. So how much we get, how that could look, maybe.
Level of
but again,
2025.
I'm not versed enough on what he's allowed to say, and that hasn't restricted him.
But
in the past
SpaceX
either,
up.
so
Yes, subscribe,
it's
give like
possible,
to
but,
this video.
One thing that I'm noticing here is
We go
some of
live
more of these
many
internal
times a
numbers
day.
are starting to show. Something that I think is an
Walmart,
important kind of takeaway
Apple.
broadly for the market is this is one of the few companies that also is operating in the public space with a kind of a true AI model as well. So Anthropic and
Can Apple go up?
OpenAI
Sure.
are sort of bigger
Sure,
players
sure.
in this space, but the Grok stuff falls underneath SpaceX. When you look at their AI segment total revenue, it came in at 2.56 billion. Well, the street estimate was for sub 2.1. And so if you look at it on that front, we're looking at something like a 20% beat on that. So this is
Cursor
nowhere
deal.
near where those numbers need to be to justify the price tag.
Yes,
of some of
let's
these
see
companies.
AMD.
But the fact that they're exceeding by pretty wide percentage margins, I think actually it lays the runway for some of these goals to potentially be attainable. But we're a long ways away. I think the
remember
biggest thing
AMD
is gonna
from
be
here?
this sort of AI data center and space
Went up
discussion.
6x.
And look, I don't know that they can give us anything really tangible there, but that's the bull case for this company, combining with Tesla's another. And those are just questions that are really difficult
So
to
subscribe,
answer
give
in
like to
August
this
of
video.
2026.
See you next video.
Maybe in August
Okay?
2027
See you.
we'll have
Bye-bye.
more, but I'm fascinated either way. Unfortunately,